first grade. Today we're going to do a math lesson that's going to help you add two-digit numbers. And when you do that lesson today, or when you do it this week, it will be Step Up 17.5, like I wrote on the board right there. Now your page in your math workbook will say Step Up 5, and it's the practice page. But you're going to watch the math clip before you do the paperwork. The math clip is titled 17.5, and it's adding two-digit numbers. But before we do that together, let's review. You know, Mrs. Coppola loves to review, talk about things we've already learned. Well, let's talk about numbers in the hundreds right now. So you should be working in your 1 to 1,000 book, and you might even be done. And you've practiced writing numbers in the hundreds. And now that you know how to write a number in the hundreds, you should be able to tell the difference between the greater and the fewer or the lesser number. Remember our math symbols? The V, the sideways V. I called it the hungry alligator, the hungry crocodile. It ate the bigger number. So it would point this way, or it would point this way, or we might even have an equal sign. Do you want to practice doing that with me? This way, or this way, or this way. Let's compare these two numbers using our symbols. Let's read the numbers first. 487. Did you read that? 4 groups of 100, 8 groups of 10, and 7 ones. And what's the second number? Did you read it? 591. The expanded form would be 5 groups of 100, 9 groups of 10, and 1 1. Now let's compare those numbers. Which one is greater? 591 is greater. 5 groups of 100 is greater than 4. All right, so let's put our math symbol on there. Which direction would the math symbol go? Okay, which number would the hungry crocodile eat? Well, he likes to eat the greater number. Let me put my symbol on and you check it and tell me if my symbol is right. Does that read the right way? 487 is less than, fewer than 591. Now the reason why we're reviewing numbers in the hundreds is because when you add today two-digit numbers, you can check for a mistake by recognizing if something is just not right. And now that you know how to write numbers in the 100s and what those numbers mean, you can regroup and check your work by using what you already know about place value. All right, so let's get on with the lesson now. So let me move my whiteboard. So today the lesson is called Adding Two-Digit Numbers. Again, it's lesson 17.5 for the movie clip, and it's practice page Step Up 5 in your math workbook. Okay, now in the movie they gave you some steps. Well, I hope they did. If not, I'll go over the steps with you. Let's just look at our steps up here before we look at our digits down here. Step 1, remember we're adding a two-digit number, so we have to start with the ones. So step 1 is add the ones, and I wrote the ones in green so that you could use colors to help you understand place value. Tens and ones today, two-digit numbers. All right, so step 1 is to add the ones. And I have a problem right here that we're going to solve together. So let's just add the ones. Now it's written as a sentence, but we know when we add two-digit numbers, it's easier to stack them. Now the movie is going to do something that's a little confusing. It's going to have you take your ones and stack them first. Excuse me while I write on the board. It's going to have you take the, oh, my green went dry, so I have to go to red. It's going to have you take the ones first and add and stack them. Now I think that's confusing because I would just rather write 56 plus 38, but I want to show you the way the movie does it. So the movie took the ones and stacked them first, and then the movie took the tens and stacked those next. I know my writing doesn't look great from this direction, but you get it. So for me, it's easier to stack them, 56 on top of 38, but the movie has you stack the ones and then the tens just to get you used to that place value. All right, we did step 1. Let's look at step 2 now. Step 2, regroup, and I put a question there. Do you need to regroup? Well, if you have more than 9 ones, you do need to regroup. Now let me show you how your hundreds, knowing numbers in your hundreds is going to help you regroup today. All right, so the problem, we already know what the problem is. It's 56 plus 38. And I'm going to write that here, and then we'll go back to the big board. So 56 plus 38. Now I have to start with the ones. That's my step one. 6 plus 8 is 14. Okay. Now I put my 14 right there. 6 plus 8 is 14, right? Yes. Okay, now I have to add my tens. 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so here's my math problem. 56 plus 38 is 814, right? Does that look weird to you? If you have 56, which is 5 groups of 10, plus 38, 3 groups of 10, could you get to 800? No, you couldn't. See how knowing numbers in your hundreds helps you make sense when you add? That doesn't look right. We need to regroup. So let's go back to step 2. Step 2, regroup. Do you need to? If you have more than 9 ones, and we did have more than 9 ones, remember we had 14, 6 plus 8 is 14, you have to regroup. So I can put the 4 here because that is a number in the ones, but then I have to regroup my 1 over here in this box. And in your paperwork, they give you a box. Now I can move to step 3 because I took care of my ones. Did I regroup? Yes. I put my 4 here and my 1 there. So I regrouped my 14 into 4 ones and 1 group of 10. Okay, so let's go over here now. Now we already know that we had to regroup and our 4 goes here and our 1 goes here. The third step is to add the ones. And I'm sorry, friends, my markers have gone dry during my lesson, but you see it. It's a 4 here and a 1 here. Okay, now let's go to step 3. Add the tens. I took care of my ones. I added them. Now I need to add my tens. 1 plus 5 plus 3. Now the easiest way for me is to take my ones that were already there, my numbers that were already there, add them together. 5 plus 3 I know is 8 and 1 more. 8 plus 1 more is 9. 56 plus 38 is 94. Does that make sense to you? Yes. See how this one didn't make sense? 94 or 814. That's why numbers in your hundreds will help you when you add 2-digit numbers. Okay, so let's look at our steps again. Step number 1, add the ones. Take the ones and add them together. Now, when I add the ones, I just stack them. I don't try to do it the movie way, the math clip way. That's kind of confusing to me. Now, I remember in class, Cyrus liked to do the rainbow way. But when you regroup, the rainbow way is a little bit harder. Cyrus, if that works for you, fantastic. Cyrus used to add 6 plus 8 in sentence form, and I called it a rainbow, and then he would go back and add his tens using the rainbow style. That's one strategy. If it works for you, fantastic. Step 2, let's go to our ones and see if we need to regroup. We did need to regroup. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 is 1 group of 10 and 4 ones. If you have more than 9 ones, you have to regroup. So we did, we regrouped. Okay, so we had our ones here. We brought our 4 here and our 1 up there. And the last step is to add the tens. Okay, 6 plus 8 was 14. We regrouped that 1. And now we're going to add 1 plus 5 plus 3. Adding 3 digits, you just need to find the strategy that works for you. Do you want to start with 1 plus 5, which is 6, and 3 more? You still get to 9. In any way that you add those numbers, you're still going to get to 9. So you might have a strategy for adding those different than me, but if you get to 9, you have the right answer. All right, so today we just finished adding 2-digit numbers. Now we also need to practice subtracting 2-digit numbers, and I'll have that in another lesson. All right, first grade, have fun doing some second grade 2-digit regrouping math today. Thanks.